So don't act like y'all don't see the title. Everything gone. Despair, tears, losses as bulldozers flatten unfinished houses. Alright. This is coming out of Jamaica, October 7th. And it's written by Ruddy Matheson and a Gleamer writer. Alright. So with that being said, shalom everybody. Welcome to my channel. You're tuned into ReligionWinked TV, and I welcome you here. Now, this story, before we get into it, please, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. If you're returning, hell, subscribe, because sometimes you guys forget. Yeah, I'm like the little girl, the little woman over here in the shoe, the bubble, whatever you want to call it. But you guys got to get involved with these stories because they're affecting us all around the world. All 12 tribes of us, no matter if you're in the Caribbean, if you're in Alaska, on all 7 damn continents, okay? We are being affected by this. The same way Russia and Ukraine affect you over here in America, black people. The same way black people affecting other black people around the world is affecting us all. Because that black on black crime goes on over here in America as well. You're not exempt, okay, people? And that's why the rest of the world kind of hate us, because we think we're untouchable. We think we're exempt. We think we're all there in a bag of chips compared to them. And I say, if that's the case, why y'all flood to come over here? Why y'all take boats and risk your lives and get in trailers and part the Red Seas and all that stuff to get here? If America is so bad. I tell you, when people stop lying and accept their truth, we'll all be a little bit better. And I'm only speaking from experience, because there's nothing in this world I'm ashamed of. My testimony is called unashamed. And everything I've been through is not really for me, but it's to help other people. And you guys don't want help from me. But I wonder who gonna help this young lady after spending $800,000 making a statement that she has her paperwork. So first of all, let me just go back to this. Let me set up the story. Over in Jamaica, somewhere in Clifton Corners, there is this compound area. Nice, livable area. And some people, upwards of 30 families, not all sure if all the people have their paperwork, but there are some people who was given permission to build on this land. Now, the government comes in before they do their investigation and research. They got people to start bulldozing down these unfinished homes, upwards of 10, as this article was unleashed the other day. Upwards of 30 people affected. One person put in $1 million into their property and has been affected by this as well. So the government comes in, bulldoze down the house. Their excuse is there's gangsters in the land trying to take the land for vegetation, which that is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? People need to eat, right? God says you'll eat the good of the land. But instead, there's some other kind of task going on with the government, with Andrew Holness over there, and to think his name got holy in it, right? Or got hole in it some kind of way, right? Or maybe there is some holes in his story, baby. Let me tell you, because our spirit says to me, black people can be a little crooked with other black people. If you didn't come through me, I'm not going to allow it to be done. It all comes down. That's it. That's it. That's all, right? And that's what I'm getting from this guy, because some people have their paperwork, all right? But the government over there got some other assignments they want to do. I guess they're going to put land, houses or buildings or something. We'll get into it. But right here, I'm not sure of this woman's name, but the demolition of some 30 unfinished houses constructed illegally. Now, that's alleged here. because some people have their paperwork. And Fitz Jackson of the Clifton County St. Catherine's Southern Baptist Missionary Martin Luther King Committee is going to tell y'all that some people had their paperwork, I do believe, or the next article after this will do that. All right, so bear with me. Now, this is on the outskirts of the Clifton community in Portmore. This is St. Catherine. This is Jamaica. The St. Catherine's bulldozing or destroying lives, as I said over there in that short I did on not only homes was demolished, baby. Lives, legacies, life savings, hard work, dreams, faith. I have a dream. Homes, families. Some people probably even lost their damn mind behind this. And I said to that man over there somewhere in the post or in the comments somewhere, Prime Minister Andrew Holmes, could you not have left the houses up and used it for the homeless, or make it a part of your proposal that you have on the table? See, what I think is going on here is, there's some rude boys over in Jamaica, right? And me think Andrew Holness here. Me think the man there vex with the people because them make $800,000 from this one lady, $1 million from the other. And just like the American government, when you go out there and buy weed and don't pay taxes on it, they have a problem with it. They have a problem with it. See, the government want to put up property where taxes and all funds come back to them. These alleged gangsters, smart ass black people that see free land and like, hell, let me put some buildings up. Let me sell some land to this person. Let me sell some land to that person. Hell, we supposed to own the land, Mr. Holness. And this is why our community is not whole, sir. You don't know I could flip a name until the days of Jesus, right? This is why our community is not whole, sir. There's no wholeness in it, sir. Because of people like you who bear the last name and can't see the holes you're putting in the hearts of these people when you tore down their damn buildings without even verifying if they had permission to be there or not. Now, I'm sick of you people around this world. St. Catherine's demolition was halted on Thursday after a crew had destroyed 10 of the units. So it's about 30 of them there. 10 of them get destroyed, y'all. And the Jamaican Gleamer says if you want any more of this story, you gotta log in. And I'm not logging in. So I'm gonna move right along to this video right here. And we're gonna hear this. The screeching and the curling cries, the heart wrenching. I don't know how to explain it, y'all, but listen.
That's I'm saying right now, me just work just to come to your work, and everything, see that everything gone. You know what to do no more.
Me no know what to do either. Me say in that post, that comment. Me say, boy, me never buy a house yet. You hear me say yet, right? When I was younger, I really didn't care about investing and having a home. I was just out there living, having a good life. As long as my bills and things I can afford, I can go, I can ride, I can roll. I was good. But then when the pandemic came around and I realized that there was more autoimmune diseases and sicknesses and ailments around than before, okay? Because when you're up and working 2 jobs and got family underneath you and you have to pay your bills and you have to be on point, you know what I'm saying? pain don't stop your purpose, okay? Don't let pain stop your purpose, baby, all right? I'm gonna preach this thing along the way if you let me. Now, pain don't stop your purpose. And then when everybody was gone, the kids grown, I'm here alone, the world done turned against me, J. Edgar Hoover done rose up in his grave and said, don't let that Messiah, because it don't have to be male or female. Remember, God created male and female. If he created a damn male Messiah, you better believe the female Messiah is somewhere close by, all right? Y'all try to say it's Mary Magdalene, but baby, God knows who and what. And so don't these devils out here. And he said, I will refuse to let another Messiah. Obviously, Andrew Holness is not that Messiah, because he would be electrifying and unifying the people, not causing this woman to cry out of her mind like, what is she gonna do now? And it's not known if this woman has any children, y'all. And shit, sometimes when you don't, that's when you realize, hell, was I working hard for me or for them? Did I love them more than me? Because sometimes when you don't got more to do for, you might find yourself doing a little less, okay? And that ain't bad either. As we age gracefully and grow into new levels and seasons of our lives. But what I'm saying is, work smarter, not harder, y'all. And for these people to go out and put their hard-earned life, sweat, blood, and tears. And y'all know when it comes to working with our people around the world, even here in America, black people, African descent people, I don't give a damn how Dane Calloway want to tell you Africans say Americans is not real Africans. I saw that video yesterday, Dane. Shout out to Dane Calloway, y'all. There's some truth over there. But just like Young Pharaoh and a lot of other these guys, slow down. Listen to what y'all saying out here. Black is black. Africa is Africa. 12 tribes scattered around the world is what it is. And what it is over here in Jamaica is wholeness is dividing and conquering. Putting fear in people. This man didn't even do his due diligence to see if at all there was any paperwork. Now let's listen to Mr. Jackson, who speaks about making checks after the operation in Bernard Lodge. And that's what it's called, y'all. They got some Bernard Lodge property in the same area of Clifton. What do we call it? Let me go back, y'all. This right here. It's called Clifton Community in Portmore, right? St. Catherine. Now, they got this Bernard Lodge property, and baby, we know what the lodges give, right? No matter where you find a black person or Hebrew Israelite people, African descents around the world, you're going to find a damn lodge. Now, Jackson says a probe is to be carried out into reports, right? That people with documents to show, and some may not have none to show, that they were given approval by the authorities to be on certain sections of Bernard Lodge property, were also affected by a demolition exercise that took place on Thursday. Did it just call it an exercise? See, you got to pay attention to the motive behind why people do things, okay? Andrew Holness seems to be making a statement here. This is an exercise. This is a test. This is a warning. Beep, 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 beep.
Get started with your own.
Shout out to Loop News. All right, give credit to Loop
10
News.
houses demolished in Bernard Lodge operation.
Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern, Jackson says a probe is to be carried out into reports that people with documents to show that they were given approval by the authorities to be on sections of Bernard Lodge property were also affected by a demolition exercise that took place on Thursday. Jackson gave the update in an interview with Loop News hours after approximately 10 unfinished houses were destroyed at the location as members of a joint police military team monitored the area.
Joint police military team. Where was the pastors? Where was the prophets? Where was the bishops? This was about business. This was about egg in face. This egg in the face. This is about who these gangsters, who these people, and it may not even been gangsters. It might. I'm telling you, when you go to Africa in some places, there's land. You get the deed, the title. You pay for it. You could build whatever you want to do. I mean, this land, who owns this land? I thought this land was God's land. So who lying? You or God? Them or God? Got you out here singing, this land is your land. Why I gotta pay for my land if it's my land? Why I gotta die in my land if it's my land? Why I gotta starve in my land if it's my land? Why I gotta be hated in my land if it's my land? Why I gotta be persecuted in my land if it's my land? Why I gotta be treated like a sheep and a cattle in my land if it's my land? Why can only you excel in this land if it's my land? Why don't they want another Messiah? Not Jesus or the church. There was one greater than him. Oh, God, Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Father God. Yahweh is the best. There's one greater than him. As the Messiah told you, there was one greater than him. That was God. There's one greater than this Jesus and the church who came before him. And if this land, in this world, God so loved and it's our land, why that Messiah have to be crucified in order for you to live? Only in the world of Christianity a man has to die in order for you to live. A man, a prophet, a great one was sent by the Messiah. He was the light. He was the word. He was in the beginning. He was God. He was with God. And they came prophesying that they couldn't even untie his shoelace, baby. But y'all all up in the church touching Jesus' feet. Oh, Holy Spirit, you on a roll today. Baby, I don't edit out anything because God don't edit out my flaws. Only when I cough, y'all. If I cough, I'll edit it out. But other than that, y'all gonna get this word today, all right? These people will be bringing us together and not dividing us. The Messiah brought us together and Jesus came right behind them and did what, Paul? Forsake not the fellowships of the assemblies of the saints, divided us when they became the Holy Roman Empire and the Vatican, and don't worship the same as the peasantry Christians do in the church. It's the same entity, but it's different roles. And when you look at that fivefold ministry, baby, I know they try to incorporate it within the church, but if you got to look out into the world and see these bishops, these apostles, these prophets, these teachers and preachers and evangelists, and see it for what it is, wickedness seated in high places. Most of these people bearing these titles do more detriment to a believer's soul than the devil could ever. Remember, the devil's job is only to get you to denounce God. And the church did a great job of that. Thank you, Jesus. Give thanks to old Jesus.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Wednesday.
Then Bishop Lamar Whitehead said, give Jesus a round of applause. I wish I had that to insert it in here, but it's on my channel. He clapped for Jesus. Now let's speak in tongues. If you don't get that demonic speaking in, oh baby, I told you I still got it embedded in me a little bit. When I really get fighting with the devil over here, it comes out every now and then. Because remember, tongues was only to confuse who? See, y'all think it's to confuse the devil, but when Paul told you to speak in tongues, it was to confuse your prayer is being heard by God. God don't know what the hell it meant. If you speak in parables, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? People can't decipher and decode always what you talk about in parables. But when you start speaking in tongues, it's a bunch of chaos and confusion that God is not the author of. And I told you, Jesus in the church is not the author or finisher of your faith. He did not give you the measure of faith. Hell, he needed some faith himself when Paul dug his ass up from the grave and said, look, I want you. That was Lucifer, Satan, by the way. See if is some barbaric entity in this world runs the church from the top to the bottom. So I told you, keep your kids with you when you go to church, if you still go to church. I don't knock that, but it's a way to do things decently and in order. But no, because they don't even tell you to obey the law of God. And the law of God will tell you to come from amongst the wickedness. And that would be the synagogues of Satan the Messiah was talking to. Paul call them churches now. But don't be deceived, people. Like I believe Andrew Holness is doing over here in Jamaica. I say, why not make food banks, or why not make distribution centers, or why not make a game room or something for the kids? I don't know. Another school or two. Cramming all these kids into one school, wondering why these kids are getting stabbed in the neck, like little Marcion Campbell back on the 29th, because anger, hostility, even that report said clashes and disorder. All of this is of the devil. And when I see people don't want to support their community like they should, tearing down people's homes, destroying lives, and even their faith, I said, this may cause people not to even want to believe no more. Because how could God, it always go back to God, right? How could God allow this to happen? Nobody ever says, how could the devil? And we'll know how and why when we ask that question. Because that's the devil's job to do. Kill, steal, destroy, and now demolish.
They served notice that structures constructed illegally on lands reportedly captured and sold by gangsters in that St. Catherine area were to be destroyed.
Then we just say, then the article just said Fitz Jackson said that there is people who have paperwork. Now, if they got it from Andrew Holness or not, this permission from the authorities allegedly, who knows? But when you're the prime minister and this kind of building and wealth and growth is going on, you don't demolish it, sir. You said, oh hell, it's more land over there. Y'all better get in on this. Every black person in Jamaica better own some damn land. But these are your rulers.
According to the Prime Minister, gangsters have captured the lands in proximity to Clifton and have been preying on residents.
Preying on residents. The only prey here is the one demolishing these damn buildings. You're gonna have crime and you're gonna have thugs and criminals and gangs. Hell, I told you America is the biggest ass petty ass gang in the world, and then there's some like the Kardashians and others that follow, but y'all don't listen to me over here, right? Thank God, because it's a lot to have all these ignorant people follow you, and ain't nobody moving in a direction where we could do something about this shit. Everybody's afraid to stand up to the people that need to be stood up to. And if you done all you can do to stand in church, sit your ass down and let somebody else stand who can endure till the end. Because this race in the spirit is not for the swift, as Christians teach you. It's a race, you better run. Now I'm feeling that fight a good fight. Run your race, whatever your race is, and finish your course. But black people, it seemed like your course, your golf course, and every other damn course you out here on has ended. Remember, what that Mary, what her name? Mary Jones married somebody in Hidden Figures. She said every damn time we get to the finish line, they move it on us. And somebody moved the finish line on these people over here in Jamaica. And that affects us all.
Thursday, as the operation took place, several residents could be seen gathered in the area. Some of them spoke in hushed tones, calming that they were not in full agreement with what was happening. There were...
Who will be in full agreement of seeing your dreams demolished? Literally. Who?
Said the land structures and had their letters of possession to be in the area. Holness said the lands, which fall seen gathered in the area, some of them spoke in hushed tones, calming that they were not in full agreement with what was happening. There were claims that there were people in that area who had spent millions to construct the structures and had their letters of possession to be in the area.
So why did that house go down? Either they were told to take all of them down, they got there early in the morning, they didn't know what houses to take down, they didn't know if anybody had their paperwork or not. So why act? Ignorance. And then want to blame it on the people. Want to come up with some lie where there's people in the area, gangsters. No, when you got American government rocking red and blue, you got to ask yourself, what gang am I a part of? I used to yell at people and get a little ignorant people, not indignant with people, not ignorant, but indignant with people like, damn, y'all living over there with the queen, y'all living over there, I'm like, y'all go everywhere where the oppressor is, where the colonizers are. And then I said, shit, you live in America, about the worst you can get.
Holness said the lands, which fall within the government's Greater Bernard Lodge Development Plan.
See, and this is what it's all about. Y'all cutting into my money right now. Baby, if y'all would have came to me, because y'all know in places like Jamaica and places like Africa, the police will bribe you. You could bribe the police and get out of a lot of shit. Okay, that's why this world is up too. You can give the police money in certain places here in America too, and you can get off. You can get off certain charges. People trying to figure out how Tony Berry in the Crystal Anderson case is getting off. I say he either in the police pocket or he got that witchcraft on him that they say he down there doing, burning candles with her name and birthday on it all the way down to the bottom. And say some other stuff talking about protect me and what I'm about to do. Another, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, these people could be bought because they're not whole. And Holness said, if you ain't coming through me, if I'm not getting a cut allegedly, he may be an upright standing man, but to put a Bernard Lodge property front, whatever he, real estate development, whatever he call himself doing, he could have found some other space on this side or that side. That way, the gangsters wouldn't get any of that land, right? And you'll have families there, you'll have businesses there, you'll have upright, decent citizens, because they don't work hard to put their stuff together. It ain't easy building a house, but it's easier there than here in America. That's for damn sure. In other places, I don't know. But I'm in the process, so this really touched my spirit a little bit because I feel like Mr. Holness over there ain't bringing people together, is not as wholesome as he think he is, and just put a hole in these people's hearts for doing this erratic behavior, demonic, rushing, not investigating, researching, or even just going and ask, how did you get this property? And allegedly, why didn't you let me get a cut of it?
Will be formalized and owners given titles.
Now listen, they're trying to propose that people are going to get titles with this new property development. They wanted what they constructed. God gave them that. All right, so the Prime Minister Holness said the lands which fall within the government Greater Bernard Large Development Plan will be. Now, how long has that plan been in motion, and how long have these people been building? See, that'll determine. Oh, he might have got wind of it after these people started building and said, oh, let me go in and confiscate all of this, come up with some plan, and then go confiscate it all. Said, no, this is the government's land. Probably wasn't thinking about that land until he saw how much money was actually in that community and on that land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Clifton Community to Albany Highlands. Thought this world belonged to God. Where all this wickedness and evil toward one another come from. So anyway, the plan that he says, listen, this land will be formalized. Now, see, once the government can come in and formulate and colonize and oppress the situation with them being on top, right? Owners given titles. He made the statement while raising concerns that criminals had captured a section designated for agriculture. Now, listen. If it is, and that's his Bernard Lodge development plan, agriculture, because I think he the only criminal in this case right now. Ain't nobody in handcuffs, ain't nobody been arrested. But what the devil do is kill, steal, and destroy, come out on top and tell you God said it's okay for me to do so. Just because they have the authority in their minds. See, in our minds, they shouldn't have this kind of authority to do this kind of stuff and not pay for it. This man, if these people could approve that they have permission to be there, charges should be brought up on his ass. I don't give a damn if he the minister or not. If this is the way he ministering like the Romans taught the black church to do so, he don't need to be a minister anymore. Not a prime one, not a T-bone one, not a beef chuck stew one. He don't need to be a minister anymore. Which fall within government's Greater Bernard Large Development Plan will be formalized and owners given titles. He made the statement while raising concerns that criminals had captured a section designated for agriculture. I don't think criminals captured anything. I think there were some brilliant black people that got together somehow, some way, found this land, did the right thing, started building. The devil get wind of it. You know, there's always the wheat and the tares, right? The devil gets wind of it, and all of a sudden, the bad seed come in, and they end up with everything, and we lose everything. Look at history. Unfortunately, just like they say Christian Jesus don't have any color, but they put a white person around and tell you that's him, the devil don't have any color as well, and they put a black person around to deceive you as well, right? So now let me just break this down. Did these people have this plot going prior to him developing his Greater Bernard Lodge development plan? Did he know these people had this land, did it right, and then sat back like Paul did and watched the Messiah and watched the movement of the kingdom of heaven and slid in that garden of Eden they were building there like the serpent did and get up in Eve's ear or whoever, the damn bulldozer's ear, and say, listen, I gotta come up with a plan. It was all I gotta make them believe it was already in process before they started building land here, baby, and just sit back and lie his way to the top. But why do we have to lose everything in the process? Andrew Holness is what I'm asking you, okay? And if you don't think this is we black people, African people around the world, then you still have blind eyes and deaf ears. Now, after the land will be formalized to their liking, the government's likings, Owners will be given titles to what? One woman invested $800,000. You're gonna give her a title valued 5,000, 100,000, 30,000. We don't know, sir. And what God put in her to build and construct was her creativity, her legacy. It's not going to be what you offer. I'm trying to tell you that Holston and other black people, what the European, Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian people of this world offer to you is not what God designed for you. But you keep settling. And that's exactly what these people are going to have to do if they take these titles. Now, I said I might take the title, but I'll be walking around like this ain't right, trying to find a way to fix it. And this man is talking about criminals this, criminals that, concerns that criminals had captured a section designated for agriculture. Listen, the only criminal that sounds to be in this story, allegedly, is Mr. Holness himself, the Prime Minister, killing, stealing, and destroying what some people had permission and authority to do. Alright? So, now, is there criminals in that area? Criminals everywhere. But people building up a community will run the criminals and the wickedness and the evil out. So, why this man will want to do what the world has done, and that's conquer and divide this land for his own greed, I mean Greater Bernard Lodge Development Plan, is only the devil would know. God knows, but only the devil would know. Okay? Now, with that being said, y'all take it easy out here. Be mindful that there are people out here, only agenda is to kill, steal, and destroy. That is in reference to being on top, to having control, to having the last say so, to laying down the law, to putting fear in people, to having entitlement, black or white. It doesn't matter. I'm going to end it here. There were claims that there were people in that area who spent millions to construct the structures and had their letters of possessions to be in the area. So, why will Holness come around and want to formalize the lands and give people titles and ownerships and blame it on criminals? For the love of God, only Holness know, but people, stay woke. Not only stay woke, stay safe, stay blessed, and always stay connected to the Most High God. This is sad and ridiculous at the same time.
He made the statement while raising concern that criminals had captured a section designated for agriculture.
And the only criminal eating off that land of agriculture right now is Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, and any of his minions or people, the construction company, the demolishers, everybody that went in without going in the right way, without, like I said, investigating and knowing for certain who's who and what's what and what paperwork is what, should go their ass to jail. And I mean that. These people need to bring lawsuits against these people. It's all right for these people sitting in high places acting as wickedness can always shape us up, get us in check, to dictate our lives, make it hard for us. But when it comes to them screwing up, this is how they respond. No, they need to be held accountable. They did a crime here, a major one, if you ask me, against humanity. And that in and of itself, because as black people go unpunished, go untried, go unjudged. But the people of Jamaica, I'm going to ask you to stand up and fight for your rights. In my Bob Marley voice.
Get up, stand up.
Shalom, everybody. God bless you. And please stay woke. Be vigilant and prayerful. Sober if you can. I'm talking a sober mind. Hell, I know people drink and still got a sober mind. I know people smoke, got a sober mind. I'm just saying, have a sober mind unto the things of God. Because when people care about the things of this world, they seem to get sucked up into the snares of the enemy. And Mr. Holness, we can talk about it if you want to. You slithering around Clifton Community, St. Catherine's, Greater Bernard Lodge Development Plan, like the serpent. Some of y'all love to worship and act like